recipe. Through nature's tragedy, we find unity when we come together. Racism, we feel shame. No one wants to take the blame. Through the fire, we all will hang. With love, we can change when we all come together.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning somewhere out there in the world. You're listening to WLTH Radio, the Region's Choice and the People's Voice, and happy Thursday. We're going to throw back some Thursday stuff today, and we're going to talk about nutrition. We have, for those of you that are, I would actually advise you to view today's show if possible so that you can not only hear but see what my lovely guest is going to be doing. And I'm just going to fill myself with an aroma that too bad you can't smell it unless you're in this studio at 487 Broadway. And we have Mitzi Egnatz. Did I say it right? Egnatz. Disculpa. Egnatz. Okay. And, I hear the sizzling. Ooh, I don't know if you guys can hear the sizzling. Omar, if you can put the mic near it so you guys can get the feel of it. And today, it's something completely different that we've never had here on WLTH Radio, from my knowledge, that she is going to be fixing something that's quick and nutritious. She is actually Mitzi Egnatz, Family Nutrition Program, a Lake County, Purdue Cooperative Extension Service out of Crown Point. And these services are offered to our community gratis, free, okay? Free is good. And we're going to talk to Mitzi, and she's going to let us know how we can take advantage of this program for the familias. Now, she is the one that goes out for the Hispanic Latino families, but they do go around the county. And she's preparing something for us here live in the studio, 487 Broadway. If you happen to be nearby, you want to stop on in, hurry up, come on in, pronto, vámonos. And she's here at the studio live with, what is that?
This is going to be a cream of broccoli and potato soup.
Cream of broccoli and potato soup.
And we're using real butter.
And she's using real butter. And, well, we're going to, she's preparing it right now, and the mic is right there for you, Mitzi. So, you know what? what the heck? We're going to go right into it because this aroma is getting to me. So let's start talking. Mitzi, first of all, tell everyone who you are and where you're from and what is it that you're doing besides the cooking preparation here, but what is it that you do? What's the program all about? Tell us.
My name is Mitzi Egnatz, and I grew up in the region. I'm from born in East Chicago and raised in Hammond, Indiana, all of my life. And I went ahead and went to college, have a degree in restaurant, hotel, institutional management. Worked for a number of years running hospital kitchens, nursing home kitchens. I've always had a love of cooking, and I've always had a love of teaching. So about 10 years ago, when I saw that Purdue University was offering a program known as the Family Nutrition Program, the expanded food education program, I decided to give it a shot, and I've been so happy working for the past 10 years, going out, just like E.V.E. said, out into the community, working one-on-one or in groups with families, teaching families basic nutrition skills. So I usually go out anywhere where there's a homemaker who has children 12 or under, and I can work with them on a one-on-one, but now we're really trying to meet more people, and so we're looking for groups. And a group would be 2 people or more that we could meet with. Sometimes we have classes at public libraries, but still, we can still go into the homes if you have 2 or more people. So it's been a love of cooking and educating for me for the past 10 years.
Yeah, and you guys hear that sizzle? Call in 219-885-1371. This is a great program, families, familias, Spanish-speaking, non-Spanish-speaking. It's a great program. What is in your plate? What's in our plate? You know what? I just downed, Mitzi, I just downed some potato salad, some coleslaw, and some, ¿cómo se llama that fish? Tilapia.
Oh, tilapia.
Okay, lemon pepper tilapia. I just downed it, in the last 10 minutes, before I had to run out because I've been gone all day, right? So, okay, you have mi plato. Choose my plate. You are actually choosing a plate for us today because it's simple. Is it nutritious?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, a lot of people don't know this, E.V.E., but there's actually vitamin C in potatoes.
I love potatoes.
Vitamin C.
I don't know about the
potatoes.
mashed potatoes, but get me some potatoes cut up like that, and that's really good. So this program started when now?
1969.
1969. Wow, it's a year younger than me. It's out there for a while.
The Expanded Food Nutrition Education Program, usually known by its initials, FNAP.
FNAP. Get close to the mic, sweetheart. You're doing good. FNAP. Okay.
Yes, we were enacted by Congress. And so our goal is to go ahead and teach people how to make correct food choices, how to use their food budgets wisely, economically, and really the hands-on component is to help homemakers either spark new ideas with what they can do with what they already have on hand, or figure out new ways of presenting maybe the same sort of basic ingredients, the basic staples, in new and refreshing ways. We're all about finding solutions for people. You may have a picky teenager that possibly when they were younger loved a certain vegetable, but then maybe they've decided on their own that they've grown out of their taste and preference for it. So we can find maybe new ways of sneaking that back into the diet. We're there to really listen to see what the needs are and then help that homemaker, the mother or the father, who's ever cooking, kind of really find a way to meet their family's nutritional needs, E.V.E.
Well, families, I'm all about solutions, and this is one of my platforms, one of my heartfelt things to do. We've talked about the problems everywhere else. We know that obesity exists in our teenagers, in our familias, in our Hispanic families, in our African-American families, everywhere, in all families. And this is a great Purdue extension, or as they call it, Purdue Cooperative Extension Service. You just shut that down. Okay. Oh, I just was loving the sound of grilling, that shh.
Let me bring you up to speed.
Please, tell me.
E.V.E.'s been such a great host to me so far, but let me bring you up to speed, audience, on what we've done.
Yes, tell us, what are you doing here?
We started with 3 tablespoons of butter. Now, it could have been butter, margarine, or oil. In this case, I chose butter, and I had that sauteing with some onion, and some celery, some diced up pretty fine, some onion and some celery. I like to cut the ribs. We call those ribs. Each long piece of celery is known as a rib.
Right.
And what I had done was I had cut all the way down the length of the celery into 3 sections, and then I diced it crossways so that they're small and manageable pieces. People forget that when we're making a soup, we want to cut things small enough so that when they're taking them on a spoon, taking your soup on a spoon, you have a little bit of variety of everything that's in that soup on your spoon. Seriously, I've walked into some places and you get served a half of an ear of corn in your soup, and that kind of stops being a soup then. That kind of starts being a finger food type of item. So we're trying to keep the pieces manageable. So again, we began with celery and onion, sauteed that for a while, and then I added my broccoli and my potato.
Now, how much of each do you know what to put? I mean, this is to feed what?
What
is the plate again for those of you just tuning in?
This is a broccoli, potato, celery, cream-based soup.
But
okay.
I mean, you're going to call it that, or just broccoli cheese?
It's a cream of broccoli, potato, celery soup.
Okay.
So cream of, and then whatever vegetable you're working with for that day. It could have easily have been a cream of mushroom soup today or a cream of asparagus, and the asparagus is in season right now. It's available at all your grocery stores. Don't walk past it. If you've ever been curious about it, take a chance on it. All you have to do is steam it, and it pairs excellently with any of your poultry or fish items.
Wow, look at her. She's just, well, for those of you that are tuning in on Ustream, if not, please connect, because she's just doing that professional, just like she's talking in a, well, she is talking in a show, right? But she's the chef and explaining it. She's like me. We talk with our hands, which is great because it adds attitude. It adds, ¿cómo se dice?
Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, je ne sais quoi. I was just about to say that. And you know, she has the, what do you call this?
An electric skillet.
An electric skillet.
Notice, if you would, that my electric skillet is not Teflon coated. It's a ceramic coating.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
It's a white, well, it's more on the beige side, beige ceramic coating, which I'm really, really enjoying these days. Again, it's a nonstick surface. It's a nonstick surface, and I find that when it has this lighter background, it throws back a little bit more light when I'm cooking or sauteing something, and I can really, really, really keep an eye on what I'm doing. When you're in one of those darker Teflon pans, you kind of lose a little bit of being able to see what's going on. If you want to check to make sure that your mushrooms are browning, you might not catch it right away, but in a lighter pan, you can see things a little bit easier.
And I noticed that this type of skillet, you have a temperature thing on the side?
Oh, yes. It's we would call that a rheostat in the world of electronic
Not a
components.
thermostat,
No,
but a rheostat.
A rheostat.
Hey, I'm learning something new here today, guys. How about that?
To control the temperature. So I can take it down to a simmer if I need to.
Well, if anyone is just, or for those of you that are just tuning in, this is Sound Off with E.V.E. And before I go any further, views expressed by the host and the callers at this show are not necessarily the views of WLTH Radio management, owners, and sponsors. And we have something totally different today, but you guys know that I love to talk about solutions and bring my guest as part of a solution, whether it be a service or a program. But today it's about a nutrition program, a family nutrition program that we all could really take it, or should, for that matter, take advantage of this program, and is gratis, free. And she is the one to deal with the Hispanic, Spanish-speaking families. What areas do you cover this program in, Mitzi? I don't know if you said that earlier, but
Actually, Purdue University Cooperative Extension, the main office is located in Crown Point, Indiana. And so we serve all of Lake County, Indiana. We have family nutrition advisors, such as myself, going out to all the different parts of Lake County. Currently, we have a couple gals, myself and another lady, Maria Turpin included, who do the Spanish-speaking families, and then we have other young ladies that are also out there teaching the English-speaking families. So pretty much anywhere where you're located in Lake County, there will be classes, group classes near you somewhere, or if you're forming a group within your home or apartment, we can find you there as well.
219-885-1371 if you have any questions about our nutrition program. But we have a website. What is this, Mi Plato? ChooseMyPlate.gov. What's all this about? I mean, while you're stirring that over there.
ChooseMyPlate.gov is a USDA website. And the thing I love most about this is that we have a tool called the Super Tracker. E.V.E, if you want to go online right now to choosemyplate.gov and look up the Super Tracker, you're going to find out that there's a food encyclopedia on there, so that if you ever wanted to know the nutritional value of a type of a food, you could look it up. If you wanted to start tracking your health and wanted to maybe lose some weight, you could track your exercise.
I'm more into making sure I have the right vitamins in me because I cannot afford to lose weight. I mean, maybe just tone what I have, but eat right, eat better.
Absolutely.
See, and I just had, I think, somewhat nutritious today. I had fish. I had coleslaw. I had potato salad. And I did wrong. I added potato chips to it.
well, let me start with this. One of the things that we neglect, because we're also
Hold on a second, caller. Hold on.
We're also very busy, is that it's really ideal for everybody across the board to eat something within the first 2 hours that you get up. That means from the moment that your feet hit the floor, your little eyes have opened and your feet have hit the floor, I want you to look at that watch or that clock or that alarm clock, and I want you to say to yourself, self, I love you and I care about you so much.
Oh,
so
yes.
I am going to have something to eat within the
right.
first 2 hours of being awake. And so once that happens, then it's easier to stay on track for the rest of the day.
Okay, we have a caller. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Eve, and how are you?
Good, good. Mitzi, yes?
Hello.
You're involved in a program that one of my neighbors, she and her husband and her 2 sons lived in our community, and she worked with Purdue Cooperative program. And she would bring the food, the cooking utensils and everything, and she would fix the food for the children at our pavilion. And it was delicious.
Absolutely.
And not only did she bring food, but she talked about the basic food that we should be eating, the groups.
That's
and
true.
she would leave homework for them. They always brought homework, and there were games that they could play, too. So that is really, not only did they get a nutritious meal and learn about the different food groups, because I studied that in home economics at Roosevelt.
Yeah.
But that program was so valuable, and the children learned that they even practiced a little cooking sometimes at the pavilion. But and they enjoyed those games, the carrots, and you talked about a soup a few minutes ago. I think it was some kind of green leaf and the potatoes. We had that too. So when I heard you talking about, I was trying to think of her name, but I didn't want to go through all my diaries because it's been so long ago. And that was when we almost first started being at the pavilion on a full-time basis. And I'm telling you, we really enjoyed that program. And my kids loved all children love to eat.
I think we all love to eat.
They love to eat, and they got such a kick out of it. And learning about the basic foods and playing some of those games that they played, it was really, really interesting because I think it lasted about several weeks that she came to our pavilion. On that note, I just called to tell you that's a good program.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, young lady. Muchas gracias, Ms. Nadine. And we're talking about the choosemyplate.gov. That's an excellent website, a super tracker.
Yes, and I have to tell you that prior to this website being available to the general public, prior to this, if somebody really wanted to get in-depth nutritional information, most likely they would have had to have gone to a registered dietitian. But here we have all of this available for free. The USDA has made all of this available for us all right here at our fingertips. This is one of those times when I just beam at knowing that technology is so very powerful and it can really reach out all across the land and give everybody a fair share, a fair opportunity at getting the knowledge that they need.
So you're making, for those of you just tuning in, I have Mitzi Egnatz. Did I say it right?
Egnatz.
Egnatz. I'm sorry, Egnatz. That's Egnatz. She is the Lake County Purdue Cooperative Extension Service what would you call yourself? Coordinator?
A family
or
nutrition
advisor. Okay. And this is a Purdue extension from the Family Nutrition Program. She's here live on WLTH Radio Studio. For those of you that are listening, you might want to watch, but you have to go to ustream.tv/channel/WLTH-talk. She is making a delicious soup. Now, you said, Mitzi, that you used real butter. How nutritious is that, or healthy?
Well, you know what? This skillet here is going to put out between 6 and 8 servings. 6 servings if they're large ones, 8 servings if they're small ones. And we really didn't use a whole lot here.
Was it like a half a bar?
1, 2, 3, 4. We used 4 tablespoons. So when you divide that amongst your different portions that you're going to have here, it's really negligible. With any fat, whether it's an oil or a margarine or a butter, about a tablespoon is going to be about 120 calories. So,
so we're not overdoing ourselves by using real butter.
We're not overdoing it at all.
And what is it that you're making again?
I'm making a cream of broccoli potato soup. You can actually say cream of broccoli, potato, and celery. Because when I think of the store shelves, you're walking down the store shelves, you can actually see a cream of celery soup or a cream of broccoli or a cream of potato. And so today, I kind of combined those 3. And face it, people, it's winter.
Hello.
Is it not?
Perfect thing to have today.
Do we not want something to coat our insides?
I'm telling you, that's
and
right.
keep us nice and warm at the same time?
Yes, for sure. And it's just, I was just, videotaping a small clip to show my people out there on Facebook of what they're missing, or they need to be watching this. But okay, now first things first, you turn on that skillet to how many degrees, Mitzi?
Well, I had this initially just at about maybe 270 to get the celery and the onion sauteing. And once that onion was sort of translucent, in Spanish, I think they say cuando se cristaliza la cebolla, when it becomes crystalline or a little transparent, that's when I can go ahead and add my other ingredients. Now, I know we're doing a little speed cooking here today, so I did steam the broccoli just a little bit before I got here, and I also steamed the potatoes just a little bit before I got here to cut down on some of the cooking time. And actually, when we're talking about cooking times, I'd like to mention prep cooking. Isn't it fantastic? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it a gift that any time you walk into a restaurant, you can count on having that meal set down in front of you within 20 or 30 minutes tops? You know why that is, E.V.E.?
Why?
That's because those cooks have prep cooks in the kitchen. When that produce comes in, they don't waste any time. They're peeling those potatoes and they're chopping them and they're storing them in maybe a baggie or in some sort of a container with a lid on it and some water. They're learning how to store the things so that they're at the ready to use. Maybe when the carrots are brought home, it would be interesting if we could just maybe peel those right away and chop them up in a variety of ways, ready for ourselves to use. Maybe we can have some carrots cut up into carrot sticks.
So maybe, in the morning or the day before, you want to do all that first, and then, next morning you continue to fix it?
I'm saying let's be very realistic here.
Okay.
I'm saying on the days that you're doing some grocery shopping, and perhaps whether it's on a weekend or a morning if you have a night job, or an evening if you have a different hour that you're going to work, let's go ahead and get some of the prep work out of the way. If we can get some of the prep work out of the way, then it's just going to be to your advantage. When you do want to throw something together, you won't feel so overwhelmed.
And me, I think I'm going to have to get into the routine of preparing my meal the day before for today, because I'm always running, and the kids know that I'm always running. I'm always literally running. You, Mitzi, I'm always running.
I know.
So this would be something, I guess, that could help me pre-cook some things the day before.
It doesn't
early
even
in the
have
morning.
to be pre-cooked.
Or
pre-cut,
pre-chopped, okay.
For example, we all want to save money. What better way to save money, perhaps say on chicken, than going out and getting maybe the family portion? It's going to be a little less per pound in price, But again, there may be 6 or 7 chicken breasts in there. Now, granted, you might not need those all in one evening, but you can certainly, as soon as you get home from the grocery store, have most things put away, wash up, get that chicken out, and possibly separate that. So then maybe a part of it can go in the freezer, the other part can be in the refrigerator, but at least you've got it portioned out for what your family's going to need over the next week or so.
It's 24 minutes after the hour. This is Sound Off with E.V.E. here on WLTH Radio, the Region's Choice and the People's Voice. And I have Mitzi. She is an advisor, nutrition advisor from Purdue Cooperative Extension Service. This is Purdue Extension, where the service is offered for free to the families. Now, you said that you need to have how many in your group for you or another advisor to come to their homes?
For us to be able to come out to their homes, we're looking for groups, at least 2 people or more that are willing to meet with us once a week for possibly 6 weeks or 6 visits to come out to the homes.
That's how long the program is per,
it's an
per
hour.
group?
It's an hour. When we
But
meet,
for 6 weeks?
Yes, 6 lessons for 1 hour. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys heard that, and it's 25 minutes after the hour. Okay, let's start all over again. What did you add to this skillet again? Because I saw you browning some potatoes.
We had the onions and
the celery. Okay.
Some potatoes. We had about, I'd say, 1.5 cups of potatoes. We had about 4 cups of chopped broccoli. We had 3 celery ribs that were chopped. We had maybe 1/2 cup of onions. I used today evaporated milk. I used 24 ounces. That's 2 12-ounce cans of evaporated milk. And there are a lot of choices amongst the evaporated milks. There are some yet with whole milk in them. There are some that are skim. It just depends on what you're looking for. I also added 17 ounces of chicken stock. You know, it could be 2, let's just call it 2 cups. 2 cups of chicken stock. I also added probably about 1 cup of water and then just a little bit of bouillon base.
Okay.
A little bit of bouillon base. And I haven't even really bothered to salt it up much because it's going to have a lot of great flavor from the chicken stock that went in there and from the little bit of bouillon that went in there. That's one of the things we want to start doing is minding our salt intake.
Yeah, because you know what that does when you take high salt intake, that raises your blood pressure, swells you up, retains water in your body. Am I right?
Absolutely.
No, I've learned a couple of things here and there from being involved in the health.
I can remember when my father was, up in age, in his 80s, I can remember when his feet would swell and my heart would just cry out, for him because I knew that having those swollen feet couldn't have been comfortable at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
So yes, it's very key, very important to start watching what we're doing and probably cooking with less salt.
And then also she gave us a great website for you guys to look at, and ¿Qué hay en su plato? What is on your plate? This is choosemyplate.gov. And who should be, I think we all need to go to this website.
Anybody can go to that website and get some useful information. That website is just right on target with what you're trying to do, whether it's establish an exercise routine or whether it's learning about the nutritional value of foods. It is there for all of us to use. You can sign in, you can create a profile. E.V.E, I challenge you to try it for the next couple months.
I'm going to save that link, the web, URL. That's choosemyplate.gov.
And you've said my plate a couple of times, and
Mi plato.
Yes, mi plato. I'd like to bring that into focus as well. Years ago, we used to have my pyramid. Well, this is what replaced my pyramid.
Which is nothing like a pyramid. This is actually a circle, cut like a pie. Just different sizes of sections.
What do you see there on
I
that?
see that the vegetables and the grains have a bigger portion that should be on your plate.
Absolutely.
Right? And
Absolutely.
Fruits and protein stuff or ingredients or type of different foods are a smaller portion. And lactose, your milks.
So let's go over this a little bit.
Yeah.
Grains. What's your favorite grain, E.V.E?
Is that considered to be like rice?
Rice.
Okay.
Corn.
I like corn. I like rice.
There's rye. Rye.
I'm not into rye, but yeah, okay.
So we're talking about wheat and rye.
I eat wheat bread.
Absolutely.
Versus white bread. I think wheat bread is healthier, right?
And then you've heard of some of they're not new, they're really ancient grains. They've been around for a long time, but quinoa, spelt, millet, those are other things that are out there that we can also use. And sometimes the easiest way to get those in is in the morning at breakfast. When I think of grains, I always think of the breakfast because that's our first opportunity every day to get some. Oatmeal, for example, is great. I've been in so many kitchens across the land, and you know what? I can pretty much guarantee that almost in every kitchen, every kitchen, you're going to find what we call in Spanish a licuadora. That is a blender. Yes,
that's right.
So if you have some of these recipes that are asking you for a whole wheat flour, and if you don't have whole wheat flour, but if you have oatmeal in your cupboard, guess what?
Yes, we do.
There is a grind function on your blender. You can make your own whole grain flour.
Okay, how's that work? We're talking oatmeal.
Well, okay, so oatmeal, you would take maybe, say your recipe calls for, a cup and a half of whole wheat flour, and you wanted to substitute with the oatmeal because I just told you could do that. So go ahead and measure that on the side of your pitcher blender. There's going to be measurements.
Okay.
Take a look. So measure it out to a cup and a half, put the lid on, and you're going to be doing this dry. There's no liquid involved. When you want to grind something into a flour, no liquid involved. So just kick it on, grind, and then you just kind of want to watch it, and it's going to start getting fluffy and lighter and fluffy, and pretty soon you'll be able to feel with your fingers the texture. It's turned into the texture of a flour. So say you want to make some carrot cupcakes or some carrot bread.
Okay.
And you did want to have half whole grain. Say maybe you wanted 50% whole grain and possibly 50% of the regular enriched white flour. You could do that then. You could now substitute part of that recipe with at least your whole grain halfway in there. And really that's one of the goals.
Well, I didn't know that, Mitzi.
By the end of the day, the goal is to make sure that half of our grains were whole grains. So let's jump over to
one thing. Hold on, real quick before we go into the other parts of the plate. Before you eat, you have to think about what you want to eat and how much. And we're going to get into that. We got some commercials to play, and we're going to go into that, how much, because that seems to be the biggest problem, Mitzi, especially in the restaurants. They serve you a whole big platter, and some people think that they have to finish it, and that's the problem, that we don't eat in moderation. So we'll be right back after these commercials, guys. Don't go anywhere. This is Sound Off with E.V.E.
The sweetest rewards are at Majestic Star Casino this February, like $700 every 7 minutes. That's right, 27 players win $700 every Friday. Plus, every Saturday, win your share of $100,000 of Cupid's cash. And don't forget, for a limited time only, blackjack players can double their payout with the We Heart Top 3 bet. Majestic Star Casino, where table players can now earn Majestic cash. Prizes are promo cash. Visit Majestic Reward Center for details. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Taking care of your health is a fundamental part of life from an early age. If, despite your best efforts, you are suffering a disabling illness or injury and your doctor feels home health care is needed, consider Health Masters Home Health. Health Masters Home Health has provided services in Northwest Indiana since 1993. You will find the care provided by Health Masters Home Health is just what you've been looking for. Imagine a team of talented, compassionate professionals who can provide complex procedures such as infusion therapy, advanced wound care, ventilator care, health instructions, and more in the comfort of your home. Your doctor provides oversight of the care we plan for you. We accept most types of payments for our services, including Medicaid and more. We can assist you in determining if you qualify for home health care services. To learn more about our services, you can contact us by calling 219-762-0004 or visiting us at 3200 Willow Creek Road, Suite C, Portage, Indiana. The home of $53 down. Driving in the state of Indiana without insurance is is playing a dangerous game. You don't need to be involved in an auto accident requiring the need to show proof of insurance, and you cannot demonstrate proof of insurance. That's playing a dangerous game. Call Mo 219-884-7506 or visit Glen Park Auto Insurance, located at 3992 Broadway in Gary, Indiana. Call Mo 219-884-7506. Need Mo? Call Mo Griffin by phoning 219-884-7506. He's the man with the auto insurance plan. Mo Griffin ensures that you are properly covered with auto insurance in the following areas: SR22, SR50, rejected or suspended license.
Have you had your driving privileges suspended due to a court judgment that requires a 3-year SR22?
Call Mo at 219-884-7506 or visit Glen Park Insurance. Need more? Call Mo. Need more? Call Mo. Need more insurance? Call Mo. He's the man with the $53 insurance plan. Need more? Call Mo. Need more? Call Mo. Need more insurance? Call Mo Griffin at 219-884-7506 or visit Glen Park Auto Insurance. He's the man with the $53 insurance plan. Located at 3992 Broadway in Gary, Indiana.
Oh, this is so good, guys. Oh, caught me with some food in my mouth. This is Sound Off with E.V.E. and the calling number is 219-885-1371. We have a special guest here, and she actually prepared a meal here in our studio. And this is Mitzi Egnatz from Purdue. But she's the Purdue Cooperative Extension Service. She is a family nutrition advisor that offers these services for free, gratis, free, in your lovely homes. She said once a week, an hour, right? Once a week?
Yes,
for about 5 or 6 weeks. So we're going to go into the portions before we even give out your contact information, because I believe that this is a great program that a lot of us need to know and to learn because, you know, Mitzi, in our culture, we were told, it's kind of like, you want to turn it off to put it down? Okay, you're done, right? So you don't have to stand. We were told that it's disrespectful if you don't, if you leave food on the plate. It's almost like, yeah, like they said, disrespectful. But you know what? It's all about moderations, Mitzi.
It is. It's about, number one, reducing the plate size.
Right.
You notice when you go into restaurants, they have these plates that are just never ending. And ideally, your plate should be a 9-inch plate. A 9-inch plate. If you're an adolescent or an adult, we're talking a 9-inch plate.
Here's the thing where we say, wow, they hardly give you any food for the amount we paid. And then we go to other restaurants and we'll remember those. You know what? Let's go to so-and-so's place because they serve us a lot of food for the same price.
And that's fine. So as soon as that waiter brings that meal to you, right away, ask for a to-go box.
Hello,
and
exactly.
you can probably put half of that meal in that to-go box. Isn't that wonderful? You'll have a lunch for the next day.
And that way it's not picked on, it's not pushed up to the side, it's not left sitting there until you're done whatever's left, and then you ask for the doggy bag or a box. And that is a smart way of doing it, Mitzi, because that food is still fresh, it's not touched, it's not moved around. You know, sometimes we add some hot sauce, some chile, some ketchup to whatever it is, and then you take that home with those type extra additional ingredients. So that is a smart way of doing it. And that, you know, hey, can I have a doggy bag or a box? And before you start eating, right?
Exactly. And I think people have gotten more honest. I don't even think they use the word doggy bag anymore.
I know. Well, for my seniors, they know what that is, too.
Oh,
and remember, today's Throwback Thursday, so doggy bag is one of those throwback parts.
All righty. Okay, I'm on board. I'm on board.
So let me just tell you that this delicious broccoli and cheddar with potatoes and everything else in here is delicious, is really good. And we're talking about the portions. You spoke to us about the grains. Now, what's next? The vegetables. That's usually an equal amount on your plate, right?
Well, the vegetables is now gaining a larger area on the plate. on the plate. So, I'm going to be pretty liberal with this. You could have 3/4 of a cup. You could have a cup of vegetables. They really need to be a focus on that plate. There is a lot of vitamin A that we can pull out of there, some vitamin C. There's fiber in there. And we really, really need to focus on variety, color. I always say it's ideal to have something orange in color every other day. Every other day. That vitamin A in carrots or in pumpkin or in sweet potatoes. Absolutely. That sweet potato is loaded with fiber. And it's just so wonderful for you. So many different ways. Sweet potatoes aren't just for Thanksgiving.
Nope, you got that right. I have a bag at home waiting for me to fix.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So something orange every other day is a great way to start. That vitamin A helps to protect your skin, your eyes, your stomach, your intestines. Really good for you. Really, really good for you.
Okay, so now we're at the protein.
So let's talk
Proteína.
about protein. Really, if we look at the world over, there are all sorts of acceptable protein sources. People can eat any type of poultry. Let's talk about poultry. We've got chicken, turkey, we've got pheasant. What else?
Cornish hens as
yes,
well, right?
Cornish hens, absolutely. Ostrich burgers. Have you heard of people having ostrich burgers? Well, that's also on the menu somewhere
Ostrich
out
burger.
there.
Ooh,
Okay, so
I don't know.
Then
I have to
there's
think about that one.
then there's a world of fish, right? Everything from the
I like
ocean,
fish.
all sorts of things from the ocean, good protein sources. Then of course we have on land with 4 legs. What do you like that has 4
Beef,
legs?
steak.
Okay.
How
so
much
some
should we
beef.
really eat of that steak? Because
Great
we're
question.
looking at the 7 ounce, 9 ounce, 15 ounce, 30 ounce. I know that there's several restaurants out there that specialize in steak, and some places say if you finish it, it's free because it's that big. I'm like, are you really helping yourself because you want it free? I don't think so.
No. I really think that we can be satisfied with something that's between 3 and 4 ounces. Doesn't sound like a lot. But again, it used to take the lion's share of the plate way back when, before we knew a little better.
Right.
1/4 pound of protein on your plate is really sufficient. It's really sufficient. I'm a big fan of stir fries because that way, I can have the vegetables and the meats going in there while the protein is going in there, sharing the stage with those other ingredients.
How much steak is too much? On a daily or weekly or monthly?
I'm not gonna say that too much of a certain type of a protein is ever, sticking to one category is what I'm trying to say here. Sticking to one category. I just think it's a lot more exciting to eat a variety. I mean, come on. There's lamb out there. There's chicken. There's pork. There's deer meat, there's rabbit meat, there's duck. Yes, duck. There's all sorts of protein out there. Really, if we're looking at the prices of beef right now in the grocery store, that has shot up.
Not just beef. How about chicken?
Yes.
I went looking for chicken breasts because the chicken breasts, I buy them boneless for my salads, for some soup, or some cream of chicken, chicken with cream over. Cream chicken over chicken.
Certainly.
And I'm looking at the prices and I'm like, oh, this is a good deal for $5 because usually they're $9, $10, $12, just 4 big sizes of breasts, chicken breasts. That's expensive too. But you got to learn to eat in moderation, right?
In moderation. And again, you can be satisfied with that 4-ounce portion of protein, whether it's pork or chicken or what have you, provided that you're getting those grains in, that fruit in at that meal, ideally getting a little bit of everything, and you're full. You really are full.
So grains and potatoes, vegetables. Some people say, well, rice and potatoes, that's like double the starch.
We're talking carbohydrates there. When I
Okay.
hear you say, those types of foods, they're a little bit high in starch.
Right.
But again, those can keep you full. we like to say go ahead and give the whole grain rice a try. And now it does take longer to cook, so you'll need about 50 minutes for long brown rice, whole grain rice out of the bag, unless you wanted to try the instant. There are many instant varieties
How healthy
out there.
is that, the instant?
You know what? It's just fine. It's really just fine. You know, all of your nutrient value is still there. It just will save you some time in the kitchen, especially for first-time cooks. You know, I don't want to see them get frustrated.
Okay, we have a caller. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, I've heard of this word. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. Could you tell me how to pronounce it and exactly what it is? I'm not even know if I'm spelling it correctly, but Quinoa.
Oh, quinoa.
Yeah.
Quinoa.
Heard about that. Is that protein? Is that in place of rice? Or what do you use that with?
It's a grain. It's one of those ancient grains, and people I'm finding are putting it in salads. They're adding it to salads, maybe a couple tablespoons of it once it's cooked. I do believe it's high in protein, and it's a good source of fiber as well. I really think you need to follow the instructions on the package when you get it. It might be one of those grains that does ask to be rinsed prior to cooking.
Okay, so you can put it. You can use it as rice.
You can use it. Yeah, I would say you could use it as in place of a rice or in place.
And you
of
mentioned you put it in a salad.
Yes, so I've seen some people put it in salads. Some people might even buy the quinoa flour and use it in their baking.
Oh, okay.
You can even possibly add it to a rice dish, kind of the way you would a pilaf, you know, when you're making something with a rice and adding other ingredients to it. That would be a gentle way to introduce it to the family.
Now, the gluten, I want to ask about that because, okay, your whole wheat, whole grain has gluten, is that correct?
I believe it does.
Okay, now they say, you know, eat less gluten, so are you to cut out the whole wheat, whole grains to eliminate the gluten?
You know, that's more of a medical question, and we really don't cover the medical questions in our program. It's more of a basic nutrition program. I would encourage you to, if you think that there's some sort of a reason why you might need to avoid gluten for some reason, that's a conversation really to have with your medical profession. And then once you get a chance to speak to a registered dietitian, she or he might be able to point you towards different foods that might not bother you. But I can tell you that we're starting to see in all the grocery stores, from Aldi to up the chain to Meijer, everywhere along the way, many food manufacturers are now seeing the need for some prepared foods out there that are gluten-free. I myself enjoy gluten-free waffles in the morning now because they're just as tasty as a regular frozen little waffle that could easily be popped into a toaster. So really, again, I can't really comment about any sort of medical issue, but I can tell you that rice is a safe option if you're trying to avoid the gluten.
The question I want to ask about ginger. I started drinking ginger tea, but I can't find a box no more than 20 or 25 in a box. I was wondering, is that because less people are drinking ginger tea or whatever? I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
Ginger is a wonderful, wonderful root, and I don't know what particular brand of ginger tea you're drinking, but I can tell you that if you purchase the ginger root
itself,
and peel it and slice it and possibly cook some of that naturally, that would be a great way to get a nice ginger flavor to a tea. You could even add some ginger, fresh slices of ginger, and maybe some lemon, fresh squeezed lemon or lime to some water as well.
Okay, we have another caller. Thank you for holding, caller. You're on the air.
Good evening, Eve. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, especially after having this nice, delicious bowl of soup.
Hey, I hear y'all talking about eating healthy. I wanted to ask about what do you feel about? I know a lot of people say high protein diets are good. So how do you feel about diets like the Atkins, where it's like mostly meat? Do you think those are healthy diets to do, or healthy diets to do, as far as eating a lot of protein with the meat?
Well, caller, I have to go right back to choosemyplate.gov, where the USDA is encouraging us to reduce the amount of protein in our diets and also cut back a little bit on the fruits and have mostly grains and mostly vegetables on our plate. I invite you to take a look at that picture, that Choose My Plate picture, that graphic.
Yeah.
You can see it all over the grocery store. Take a moment the next time you're in any grocery store, even on a bag of bread. If you have the packaging still for a loaf of bread, it should be on there. Also on your rice, or even on your morning cereals. Take a look at that graphic, and you're going to kind of maybe be surprised that really we want everything balanced and in moderation. If you're just going to be eating heavy on the proteins, honestly, truly, really, you're going to be neglecting taking in all those other wonderful nutrients. See, the human body needs at least 40 different nutrients a day, and they're not ever found just in one food. They come to us through a variety of foods. So, caller, it's so important to keep a variety of foods in your diet. I hope that answers your question.
Oh, yeah, it does. Thank you very much.
You.
Eve,
yes.
Keep up the good work. I love your show. You always have great guests, so thank you again for all the good information and the things you're doing.
Thank you, sweetheart, and thank you for calling here and Sound Off with E.V.E. It's 50 minutes after the hour. The phone lines are open, 219-885-1371. We got some great information here today, all in one nutshell, in 1 hour here. She prepared a meal here live in the studio, something that I don't believe WLTH has done. I don't know about any other radio program, but, I like the fact that it's all about solutions. Well, at least on this program, it's about solutions, because everybody and their mother want to talk about the problems. You go on Twitter, what do you see? Problems. You go to the newspaper, what do you see? Problems. You turn on the TV, what do you see? Problems. Drama. Social media is not supposed to be all about the mama drama stuff. Let's talk about solutions, how we can fix our bodies, our mind, our spirit, our soul. And we can start out by our stomachs being happy and not hurting them, right?
Absolutely. So let's take it back to vegetables.
Yeah,
you wanted to know what should we have in a day of vegetables. 2.5 cups every day of vegetables. Yummy.
So we can have, we can have a salad for lunch. And then in the evening, we can have a little more vegetables, right? Or is that too much already?
You can even have some vegetables for breakfast. Think about it when you're making those scrambled eggs. Is there something you can throw in there?
I add potatoes. I add onions. I add bell peppers.
Okay, I'm kind of thinking about those Denver omelets.
I just don't add the ham sometimes.
That's okay. But 2.5 cups a day, that's what we're shooting for with vegetables. And when it comes to fruits, we're looking at 2 cups a day of fruits. When we're looking at grains, we're looking at 6 ounces a day in grains.
You guys need to be taking notes, guys. Hopefully when you're not driving, of course.
When we're looking at
2 cups,
foods that are high in calcium, we need 3 cups a day. That's if you're drinking your calcium, or 3 good portions of foods that are high in calcium. So we're talking cheeses or yogurts or a variety of things out there too.
Orange juice?
Yes, there's some orange juice that is like for like. 8 ounces of orange juice is worth 8 ounces of the calcium that you would get from any 8-ounce glass of milk. So yes, some of those orange juice companies are really stepping up with calcium carbonate added.
So let me ask you this, Mitzi. So with that, if you're eating that and you're choosing your plate right with the right portions of your fruits, your grains, your vegetables, your proteins, is it okay then not to take vitamins since you're having it all on your plate?
Ideally,
because I'm bad for taking vitamins.
We should be getting all of our good nutrition from food. So if you're eating a very well-balanced diet, I think you're going to be, okay. Of course, if you go to the physician and your physician decides to run some sort of a panel on you, and your physician finds something out of sorts, your physician's going to tell you exactly what you need.
So if you're low in iron, what type of food should they eat?
Oh my goodness! If you're low in iron,
give me some beans. Give me some.
Exactly. We want to talk. We want to talk about legumes. Legumes.
Oh, have you heard that word? Legumes. Excuse me. It sounds kind of fancy.
We want to talk about
legumes.
Dried peas, dried beans.
I love garbanzo beans.
Okay.
I love garbanzo beans on a salad.
And how about garbanzo beans as hummus? Do you like hummus?
That is good.
Oh, yeah.
I had lunch with a vegan, not a vegetarian, a vegan, and she got me into the hummus. So we ordered hummus with some type of like pita bread or something.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that was so good.
Absolutely. And so very easy to make. Honestly.
How do you make that real quick?
Oh, you could open up a can of, maybe a 15, 16-ounce can of garbanzo beans. You can get yourself a little food processor. It even works in the blender if you've got a powerful enough blender. You want some fresh olive oil, and you want some fresh lime juice or lemon juice, possibly a little bit of salt, maybe a little pinch of garlic powder, maybe a little pinch of onion powder. Go ahead and start processing those garbanzo beans, and when you see that they're kind of fluffy and they're starting to get a little more towards the pureed side, start adding in a little oil, and not a lot of oil, maybe let's say 2 tablespoons of olive oil.
Okay.
Or your favorite kind of oil. It could even be a salad oil that you could use.
I like olive
if
oil.
you like. Okay,
Yeah.
great. And there's some nice Mediterranean blend of olives out there too that are a little less expensive than olive oil. And then, like I said, some fresh lemon juice, some fresh lime juice. And this is key. This is important because those legumes have protein and iron in them. Because they have iron, that vitamin C is going to help your body absorb the iron that is in those legumes. So you can have a
snack and you're putting in great ingredients in your body, nutrients
absolutely.
in your body.
Fiber, protein, absolutely.
Hummus.
Absolutely. Yes,
That's
hummus.
how you make hummus. Okay. Yes. Garbanzo beans. So if I have a question as to how much, I know I'm going to be calling you. Okay, how much of lime juice? How much of salt? You said a pinch of salt, pinch of onion, powder, seasoning powder, garlic powder. I have all that. The only thing I don't have is that can of garbanzo, so I'm going to have to stop at the store and get me a can of garbanzo
Or
beans.
you can make them in a crock pot overnight, E.V.E.
Oh, yeah, fresh, even better.
Yes.
And for those of you that are saying, why is she calling you E.V.E.? That is one of my nicknames. That's actually been my nickname for a while. And not everybody calls me E.V.E., but I appreciate that, E.V.E. Yes.
Aww.
And here it's E.V.E. So it's all close to it. It's close to it, Mitzi. And you know what? We've had so much fun here today. It's 56 minutes after the hour. I can allow 1 or 2 callers if anybody wants to call and ask any questions about a nutritious program, and it's free. And how many people again in order for you to go to their home?
You need at least 2 moms for us to come out to the home. This is a family nutrition program, expanded nutrition education program, FNEP, expanded family nutrition education program. We've been teaching since 1969 all over the United States. Our program is always coming to you from a land grant university, and Purdue University is a land grant school. So it's our mission to take knowledge out into the public. So we're looking for moms that have children in the home 12 or younger. And
they have to have children.
Yes, and
in order for you to go
to have at least a child 12 or younger, or the mom is pregnant, and we can come on out and establish a little group teaching session. And our phone number at the university is 755-3240.
755-3240. Days of operation that they can call you guys.
Yes.
What days do you guys go out?
We work Monday through Friday. We're available Monday through Friday. The office closes at 4:30. Our office is at 880 East 99th Court, Crown Point, Indiana. But a phone call will get in touch with one of us, and we'll be able to talk a little bit more at length about the program with you and bring it out to you.
What seems to what area seems to be the highest in need of this, from geographically speaking, that you may have seen in your experience of going out?
You know what? The thing about food and nutrition, that just blankets the entire county, state, and country. There is no place that you go to within this country that somebody, isn't in need of nutrition education. And when we can keep our children healthy, we can keep them out of the doctor's office. They can miss less days at school. Our goal here is to keep people healthy. Keep people healthy. And to be honest with you, E.V.E, I have seen that, over the past 15, 20 years, a lot of the home economics classes were taken out of middle school.
Yeah, I remember me taking that. I remember taking that in high school a long time ago, and they don't have that.
Surprisingly, not everybody's getting a chance to be guided through, proper cooking skills, or even, their little light bulb doesn't get lit over their head about what to do with what they have. So we're here to fill that need for people.
Well, Mitzi, thank you so much for coming on. I know that we, other intentions, but you know what? Everything happens for a reason, and and we're not going to worry about. We're gonna make an exception and take this call real quick, and hopefully, if you have a question, you can call in. And remember, choosemyplate.gov. And they have My Plate videos, healthy eating on a budget.
The Super Tracker.
Super Tracker lesson plans, yes. And 10 tips nutrition education services, recipes, cookbooks, menus, daily food plans, partnering programs. So everything you get there all in one, and is by the USDA, United States Department of Agriculture. That's choosemyplate.gov. And what's the phone number for your program again?
It's area code 219-755-3240.
Okay, and this is from the Family Nutrition Program. This is a Purdue Cooperative Extension Service. Not Purdue University, but because it's a grant university, you said, or how did...
Our program is called, we're Extension, so we extend our services out into the community is what we're doing there. I teach this program completely in Spanish, so I'm always looking for referrals for Spanish-speaking families that need my services, and we have plenty of teachers teaching this program in English.
And the number again?
755-3240. And you just ask for the Nutrition Education Program.
219-755-3240. You guys got that? Real quick, what are we going to get for the weather, Mars? It's 6 o'clock, and, hopefully we're going to get some warm weather. It was very cold this morning, but you guys need to continue to warm yourself up and keep, well-dressed for this weather.
Well, right now, it feels like 11 degrees outside. It's 18 degrees Fahrenheit, partly cloudy. Today's high was a high of 19 and a low of 7. We're going to get to the single digits tonight. And that's without the wind chill. So by midnight, it's going to be 9 degrees outside. Tomorrow's going to be cold with a high of 27 and a low of 22. Saturday, we're going to expect some snow. Partly sunny with flurries, a high of 22 and a low of 6. Sunday, high of 15, low of 7. Monday, high of 23, low of 15. Tuesday's going to be cloudy with a high of 26 and a low of 8. Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high of 18 and a low of 8. And then Thursday, mostly cloudy with a high of 32 and a low of 15.
Well, thank you so much, Weatherman. With that, today is Thursday, Throwback Thursday. You guys be safe out there. Stay warm, and we'll be back tomorrow with Nuestra Comunidad NWI. So continue to listen to WLTH Radio, the region's choice, and the people's voice here. And remember, this is Sound Off with E.V.E. Monday through Thursday. Catch me live on the evening drive at 5. You guys be blessed. Peace.